Hi, subscribe to my channel Shobha Rana for more.
When did you become like this bold person? Were you always like this, or has this avatar now come in?
I think, look, when it comes to transition, no, people always ask, when did you transition? Da, da, da. I think everybody's transitioning, right? And I feel like I'm still very much a work in progress because I just moved to Bombay and I'm figuring myself out. But was I always super confident? No, yeah. Like in high school, I was an awkward, shy kid who didn't talk to anybody, who was this absolute outcast because I didn't know anything about who I was or what I wanted to be. I just knew that I was different. I didn't know how I was different. I just knew I was different. And I think it's just been like uphill from there. It's only gotten better from there. Over the years, we all, I think, need to go through certain things in life and certain experiences to become, confident to a certain extent. That's definitely the case with me also.
I think it all starts with confusion. That is where
Yeah.
you start sort of digging deeper and
Yeah.
getting into this self-discovery mode of
Yeah.
finding who you are. And I
Yeah.
think that's what started for you in high
Fully.
school.
I don't keep telling people be comfortable being confused. Yeah, like you don't have to have everything sorted in life. Your career, your gender, your sexual. It's okay. Be confused. It's fine. It's a good place to be because if you at even doctors, if you feel like you know everything in life, no, something is wrong. Like that is where you really have to reevaluate everything. But
I was just saying that this process of self discovery that started for you
Yeah.
in high school, how did this process evolve with time and how has this journey been so far?
the journey has been wild.
I'm sure.
It's been wild because I feel like, I've been very blessed and fortunate to have had a very diverse range of experiences in life because kaha content and acting and kaha, being in the hospital.
Right.
Wild variation. But I think the journey started when I was very young. I was 3, 4 years old when for the first time, I used to love wearing my mom's jewelry and her makeup. And I used to, because my mom's a bit of a tomboy, okay? Like
Yeah.
she takes her styling tips from me now.
Life comes a full circle, my dear. It does.
Absolutely, absolutely. I feel like so for her, when I would steal lipstick and this and that, she never noticed. I think some neighbor noticed when I was 4 years old and told my mom ki kya kar raha hai? Why is this boy being this way? And that's when for the first time I realized that, oh, okay, in society there are certain rules and regulations and I need to really watch it, because this is not okay. Didn't understand why it was not okay. I was just being myself. I was just playing with my mom's dupatta and turning it into a sari and whatnot. And so slowly, I think from that age, kids are taught all of these things by society. Dheere, 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 dheere. This is okay, this is not okay. All the gender roles and rules and regulations started becoming, a little more and more and more evident to me with time. And I, at that point, was so confused. I thought I was crazy because everything that was expected of me as a boy, कि लड़कों के साथ खेलो, ऐसे behave करो, I couldn't do any of that because that was just not who I was at all. I always saw myself as one of the girls. I always saw myself as this pretty carefree diva.
Wow.
And I think that is, I realized when I started getting bullied in school, etc., मुझे 0.5 बुलाते थे. मुझे पता भी नहीं था कि 0.5 का क्या मतलब होता है. But in Hyderabad, I was raised in Hyderabad, 0.5 means it's a slur that's used for trans people, where it's like saying you're half and half.
Oh, like
That's
that.
the logic. I didn't know fractions only. 0.5. And so I think when I started getting bullied, and sometimes teachers would also laugh and stuff, that's when I realized, okay, maybe I need to just completely push this part of myself away and just try and fit into what society, asks of boys and men. But nahi hua. How to do? There is only so much that any human being can suppress within themselves.
But what all did you
right?
try to fit in?
So for example, I had a girlfriend in high school.
Wow, really? So
I had a girlfriend
you
in high
learned to
school.
fake it then.
I mean, don't we all, darling?
True, man. I've been a girl for 34 years now. I have learned my fair share of
Right. No,
faking it.
I didn't, it wasn't fake because I genuinely at that point was confused about everything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name her, but she was this German girl, okay, because we had this German exchange program. And hum gaye the Germany for 2 weeks. And then, I came back and suddenly the most gay boy in this class has come back with a girlfriend. What is happening? How?
How
And
fun.
I was very validated. I'm like,
Now I have confirmed to the standards, and I've shot also way too high.
right. But for me, it was never, much as it came across like that, there was a very genuine connection with her. I was still friends. We still talk. She tells me that, you were the only boy who was sensitive, who cared what I thought. I was like, yeah, because I was not a boy. But she was very, very sweet, very understanding of the confusion that I was going through at that time. But eventually she had to go back to Germany. And plus, I was just not, that was the first time in life where gender roles were really thrown in my face, where I had to do boyfriend things. And I couldn't do it. I just couldn't be that person, that role that's expected of a boyfriend. I couldn't do it. And now, if I were to date her, I would be a lot more comfortable as in my own skin, because I do identify as bi-curious-ish. I'm usually into men, but occasionally, I do find myself attracted to other people also. But that was one of the things that I think a small part of me was trying to fit in. But I realized it wasn't right. You cannot use another human being to fit in. It's just not right. You can't fit into some role and that's the problem with Indian society. For me, I was still 13, 14 years old. There are people historically from the community who have gotten married, right? Because of social
Norms.
So I have known personally people who are trans women, who are gay men also, who, in the past have gotten married to cis women like yourself, because family, the pressure of that, shadi karni hai, bacche,
Bruce Jenner.
Right?
Back in the day.
Back in the day, Caitlyn Jenner. And it's very sad that even to this day, it's very common in the community. And it's very difficult to place blame on one person, because it's everybody's pressure, right? But I personally think you have no right to destroy somebody else's life because you want to fit in. It's not your place to be. And imagine the kids in that marriage, the woman in that marriage. I know, as a woman of trans experience, what it's like to feel unattractive when people treat you a certain way. So I can't even imagine what a woman in that situation might feel. That,
it's very unfortunate, actually.
Am I not attractive enough? Am I not beautiful enough?
Yeah, why is he not attracted to me per se?
Yeah. So all
people
of that stuff
living
happened.
these very closeted lives and two different lives. Something else at home, something else outside. Yeah, it's very unfortunate, but yeah, I'm glad that the awareness is coming in now, and
Slowly.
people like you are slowly trying to, bring up this very important conversation through your social handles, through the work that you do. You are, I think, one of the most outspoken person in this universe per se.
Thank
And
you.
what I love about you, like I said in my introduction, you just don't stand for one community per se because you've had certain experiences. You generally stand for humanity. You stand for change for everyone, which I just love about you. And I think your generation has that potential to change all these older narratives and build a new fabric of a future which is more fluid in that manner,
Right.
which is more accepting for a lot of things,
Yeah. I think people don't realize that when it comes to gender roles and the patriarchy, it affects everybody. It doesn't affect only women or only queer people. It affects everybody, including men.
Including men.
Right? That if a boy is abused, for example, he can't speak up in this society. Why? Because he's supposed to be tough. He's the one that takes. He's not the one that something is done to. Right? So I feel like at the root of it all is just the fact that we need to deconstruct all of these nonsense roles that we've created for genders and these hierarchies which are completely made up, right? And sort of undoing all of that, deconstructing all of that, it is beneficial to everybody,
True.
So I think that's where it's at.